welcome to my channel. I'm a full-time STEM teacher living in New York, and today I'll be budgeting my February 2025 paycheck. I'm paid once a month, and this month my salary is $8,103.92. It sounds like a lot, but this is before my paycheck deductions. I've organized my custom views here to guide myself through the steps of assigning every dollar a job. Here you can see I have 10 overspent categories. So the bulk of these are from my paycheck deductions. So I'm going to click over to the paycheck deductions view. And this is divided between my retirement savings and taxes and insurance that comes automatically out of my paycheck. So when I check both of those to fully fund them, it adds up to just under $3,000. So I'm going to go ahead and fund those. So the amount that you see here and ready to assign is what actually hit my bank account this morning. I do have a bit of overspending because Cowboy Carter concert tickets went on sale this week, and I bought a couple of tickets for me and some friends. So I want to start by covering that overspending. Up are my true expenses. I set aside $400 to put towards my sinking funds and annual subscriptions. So I do transfer $400 automatically from my checking account to my high yield savings account so that I can earn a little interest, but I still have to assign those dollars a job, right? So for my sinking funds, this includes saving up for car and renter's insurance and contributing fixed amounts to car maintenance, household expenses, travel, and gifts. And then for my annual subscriptions, these are things like um, Apple Fitness, Microsoft 365, Duolingo, etc. Of course, YNAB, which is the budgeting software that I'm using now. I contribute fixed amounts to those every month, right? So that is a total of $400 that I can fund now. My next priority is paying off debt. I have one credit card that carries a balance. It is 0% APR until April of 2025. So I set my target to pay it off by the end of March. So I'm going to go ahead and assign that $906 to cover that. And if I have any money left over, I'll assign a little more so that I can hopefully pay that off before the end of this month. Next, I want to budget a month ahead. As you can see, my fixed expenses and day-to-day expenses are pretty much funded for February. So I'm going to jump ahead to March and fund both of those. So for my fixed expenses, my monthly bills starting next month will be lower because I'm canceling my very expensive gym membership. And I have two personal loans. So even though those are considered debt, they're not priority. So I'm not in a rush to pay those off. Under my day-to-day expenses, these are the areas that can be variable. These numbers I've come up with based on my January spending, but I'm hoping to cut back in these two areas as well. So it's a little over $2,000, so I'm going to fully fund all of those expenses. So now I've got $1,665 left to play around with. So I'm going to go to my savings goals. Um, One of my major goals for this year is to build up my emergency fund. So I'm going to put $500 towards that for now, just to see how far it'll get me. I will also put some money towards the Beyonce category. So I know that because it's in the summer and I will be off of work, I do kind of want to make a vacation of it. So I'm going to go ahead and add another $600 to that category. I'll try to fund the rest of that with my TPT paycheck, just to keep things simple. Um, and I think that's all I want to do for my savings right now. So that leaves me with $565 left to assign. So I think I will go back to the debt category and add another $500 towards that payment. So that gets me much closer to paying that off before the end of this month. And for the rest of it, I guess I will go back to my day-to-day spending for February. and treat myself to eating out a couple of times for $65. So that brings me down to $0. So that's my budget for this month. I will post a link in the description to Nick Chu's video where I learned how to enter my paycheck with the deductions. If you'd be interested in seeing how I budget my Teachers Pay Teachers paycheck, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.